Alright, so we're going to change rear taillights on this thing finally, because we got the time. So we'll address the other body damage later, but first things first, we got to get this stuff changed. So I finally get those check messages off there, and I'll look all nice and symmetrical. So I have to do them both because this one, my new one, is ever so slightly different. And if I only did one, it would be kind of obvious that they don't match. So for this side, first things first, you pull your little battery dude down, and then back in here you can see where the wires are going to the bulbs, and then they go to this main dealio here. What we're going to have to do is take these 4 bolts out. There's one there, there. I got these taped and marked, top left, top right, so on and so forth in that manner, because I am going to keep this wiring harness since it works. We're just going to discard of this. So I went ahead and labeled them on here too, because we're not going to be able to just unplug, pull out, and then plug back in, because then the wires would all be down in front of the steel here, and we don't want that. So you have to unplug all these, then clip it on. Then when you bolt your taillight in from here, then we can put all the bulbs back in. And my memory's real bad and I'll forget things real easy, so that's why I have them all labeled. So be back in a sec. Alright, so there's not a lot of room to film in here, but you want to take the 4 8mm nuts off of here. I already disconnected that and sprayed my electrical contact cleaner in there. Keep that nice and clean, so we get a nice good connection with the new one. Don't mind all the sirens, I live in St. Louis City. You know how it is. Highest murder rate in the US, I believe, at the moment, so we're number one. Number one. Alright, so once you get all 4 of those out, just freaking finagle it loose. And it'll come right out. Boom, done. Alright, so we got both of them in. There really wasn't much to it other than, well, I said I did, but I went ahead and did a few things different. Off camera, one problem we had was, I'm guessing this guy, whoever had it before me, had electrical problems, because he had some wire running off of this, and let me see if I can find that harness. Okay, so he had this wire coming out of here that's running to all these little black wires in here. And I guess each one of these now has their own ground that went to this thing, that was crimped onto this thing, and it was cut, and the wire wasn't doing anything where it was coming off of this plug. So he must have cut it and then ran from here, this side, the car side, and then crimped it to the light. And that socket was a little crispy. You look on this side, it's kind of a little melty. So he must have had some sort of ground issues, I guess. So I went ahead off camera and soldered the old wire to this new wire. Well, soldered the old wires back together, and then put my heat shrink on there. And when I plug them in, they work now. And then he had all the... Sorry, a fucking bird literally just took a shit on my head while I was fucking filming. God damn it, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Look at this. This is shit that I wiped off of me. Unfucking real, dude. Look at that. He fucking got me good. Unbelievable. Fucking bird. Alright, anyway. So what I did here went ahead and left the wires. So this is the new wiring harness and the new light assembly with new bulbs, and so I just left them where they were, and then went ahead and put the rubber backing deal, the foam thing that came with it. So the bulbs and all the wires and everything's ends on the other side of this foamy deal. And then, so it shouldn't be too hard to change the bulb if I ever have to. And then the foam should keep the water out. Now I just ran the dealy whopper, my plug connector through, so we should be good to go. Boom, done. DUN. So I'll just probably try to keep this out of the way. I'll either try to fish it back through there a little because there's some room, or I'll try to zip tie it up onto something around here. And then for this side, I probably should have done the same thing, but what I ended up doing, we'll see how this works out. I have the wires between that steel plate and that foam. So we're gonna keep a monitor on this, make sure we don't have any water intrusion. If I start getting some, then I'll have to set it up just like I did this side, where all the wires are inside the foam. So it's the steel, the foam, and then all the wiring. On this one, it's the foam, the wiring, the steel. So we'll see how that goes. Then I had to fish it through here, and I actually kept the old wiring harness because we've got some weird thing going on again where there's one random blue wire that's, I guess, a ground. It's running to ground, it looks like. So, I don't know. This guy must have had a lot of weird electrical problems with this car or something. Which is weird because it doesn't exhibit any now. But maybe that's because he blue wired it or something. So, I don't know. But that's it, you know. 8mm nuts hold them on. There's only the 4, and on here it's the same 4. You just have to kind of move some of this stuff out of your way so you can get your hands in there and reach it. But it's more or less plug and play. And so I'll go ahead and bolt this back up, and then we'll make sure everything's all nice and symmetrical. Alright, you'll probably be sitting in a weird angle, but this will be a moment of truth. If this all works, and you'll know before me, because I'm going to go back and play the video. Fast blink on the right signal. What's the problem? Oh. Problem is none of that looks like it's working on the right. What the fuck? You gotta be kidding me, right? Oh, you know what? Bet it works now. Freaking harness wasn't plugged in all the way. Interestingly enough, this looks brighter. So one thing that looks weird is the left lights look brighter. My parking lights do, which is interesting because the right side has the new bulbs. That's the new harness, the new bulbs, the new assembly. This is the old harness, the old bulbs, and the new assembly. So that is interesting, but it looks like everything works. At least I'll go back and re-watch it to make sure everything works now that I plug the wiring harness in completely all together. So, weird, man. Why would the left side be brighter? Those bulbs must be different. There must be like 2 filaments on the left and not on the right. I don't know. So that does kind of grind my gears a little bit. And I'll have to see what the brake lights look like. Alright, well, I guess we're all done here, so I'll try to edit out all the crap that doesn't need to be here. So appreciate it. Thanks for watching, guys. Now you know how to change your taillights. It's relatively easy for the most part. And then time will tell if I need to do anything with the foam and the wires on that, if we start getting water intrusion or not. But I should be okay, I hope. Well, alright, thanks for watching, guys. Peace.